Here's a quick video on how to find the x and y intercepts of an equation and the slope of a line. So if a set of directions asks you to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept, let's take a look at this example to figure this out here. If you think about the x-intercept and the y-intercept, it's based on a set of coordinates, x, y. Now if we let our x value in this equation be 0, think of your coordinate. If you want to plug this on, you would start with your x of 0 and you would go up or down to y. So if we plug a 0 into where the x is, if we put a 0 in there, it would be 3 times x, and it would go away. So our equation would then say 20 equals 4y. And when we divide by 4, we would find that y would equal 5. So our y-intercept for this question would be 5. Well, how about our x value? Right? Well, if we put y as 0, what would we do to find y? Well, let's pretend the 3x was still there. If y equals 0, 4 times 0, that 4 and y goes away. So we're left off with 20 equals 3x. So if we take this 3x and we divide by 3, in this case it would give us a mixed number. It would give us 6 2/3, or 6.6 repeating. A second example, asking us to find the x and the y intercepts. Well, let's set up our two coordinates, x, y, x, y. In one of them we're going to make leave a 0 for x, the other one we're going to put a 0 for y. So let's solve this equation twice. For the first one, let's take a look at our y value. If we put a 0 in for the x, 2 times 0, negative 2 times 0 cancels each other out. To get the y by itself, we would then divide by 5. So negative 10 divided by 5 would be negative 2. But what if we wanted to solve for our x-intercept? Well, if we were trying to solve for x, let's put a 0 in for the y. So let's put a 0 in right here. 5 times 0 goes away. So now we have a negative 2x. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. Negative divided by negative is a positive. Our x-intercept would be 5. Another question that you might be posed with is find the slope-intercept form of the equation. Now what this means is that we need to have a y equals, and then the rest of the values need to go to the right side. The only thing that we want on the left side of our equal sign is just this y value. So the 3 will need to go, the minus 2x, the negative 2x, that will also need to come over here to the other side. Well, let's start by chipping things away from the equation. Let's leave that 3y by itself. It's a positive 3y. And how do we move this negative 2x? Well, we're going to do the inverse operation, and we're going to add 2x. Make it go away, and we're going to add 2x on the other side. Now we're going to be left off with 3y equals, and let's put that 2x in front of the 10. Let me make that a little bit more of a 2. 2x plus 10, minus 10, excuse me. It's a negative 10, so we have to put down minus 10. The last step in getting y by itself, we're going to need to divide by 3, make it go away. And whatever we do there, we're going to do to the rest of the equation as well. So we're going to have y equals 2/3 x minus 3 1/3. So how do we actually graph this if we were going to? Well, this last value right here is going to be our y value. That's our y-intercept. So that is going to be placed at negative 3 1/3. Put a dot down there, just past that negative 3 line. Alright, and then from here we are going to go 2/3. We're going to move up 2, rise over run, up 2, and then 3 tells us right 3. So we're going to jump up 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to move to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. So our next point would be placed right about here. And then we can go up 2, right 3, up 2, right 3, and so on and so on. And this is how we can graph a line, straight line through those 3 points. And one more example here. If we were to get the y by itself, well, we start by saying, hey, we need to get rid of the 3x. It's a positive, so let's subtract it, and that's what we do on the other side. So when we rewrite this now, let's move that 4y up front, because it needs to be y equals something. Negative 3x plus 20. Okay. To get the y by itself, next step here is going to be dividing by 4. But we're going to do that in all the spots. Divide by 4, divide by 4. So our next line of work is going to be y equals a negative 3/4 plus 5. So how do we graph this? The plus 5 is where we cross our y-axis. 2, 3, 4, 5. Go up 5, place a point. There. Make that a little bit bigger. There we go. And then this negative 3/4, this negative sign either can go at the top or with the bottom. Let's move the negative sign to the top. It doesn't much matter where you put it. It's either going to go to the top or bottom. So let's erase that for a second, and we're going to put it up at the top. So remember, your top value represents how far up or down you move, rise over run. So because it's negative 3, we are going to jump down 1, 2, 3, down 3. And because we now have a positive 4, it means that we are going to then move right 4. Down 3, right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to place a second point. We can continue doing this with our slope. Down 3, right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there is the slope of our line. If we went the other way, if we moved this negative here on the bottom, how would that affect things? Well, just to show you that, if we move the negative to the bottom, well, it would then become a positive 3 on top. Positive 3 means we would go up 3. Negative 4 means we would go left 4. So from our original point, we would then move up 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we would move left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And oh, look, we would be directly on our line still. So that's why it doesn't matter whether you put the negative on top or bottom.